my lovelies. So it is Friday, and it's Friendship Friday. I get to see my bestie. Her name is Liz. I've been friends with Liz for, oh my goodness, probably about 8 years. Yeah, 8 years now. Yeah. I've been friends with her for a really long time. I met her. She used to work at the McDonald's in Indian Land, and when the McDonald's in Indian Land first appeared, they first built it. The twins were like 2. And I would go every day and get a sweet tea. And she was in the drive-thru, and so we started to get to be friends. And then I was friends with one of the girls that worked there. And so we started hanging out. And we're still best friends. She lived with me for a short period of time. For about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, she lived with me. And I basically was like her older sister. And I mentored her just like I mentor all of you. So I am on my way to get her. She usually drives over, but she's having a lot of car trouble. And man, my bestie Liz, just, I love her, but she just has so much car trouble. And she keeps, like, my friend Chrissy too, like, all of my peeps have car trouble. But like, they just, she just got it worked on, and the guy was like, oh yeah, it's totally fixed, I got this. And then literally like a week after she drove it, it was like done. And the person was like, oh, I didn't notice that. But it's free work, so like, you can't be mad at your person who's doing free mechanic work for you if they're not doing great mechanic work. You know, you can't be mad about that. You just gotta be like, well, it is what it is. So I'm going to get her. She lives far away from me. I mean, not far away, like relatively far away. Too far for her car to drive. Her car overheats, so she can't drive. She lives over, like downtown, like off of South Boulevard downtown area. So, you know, about an hour drive. Okay, Mr. Man in the truck. You just couldn't fucking wait. You just, wow, couldn't wait for me to move. There's literally no cars behind me. That's how long you would have had to wait, because I'm moving right now. Guys, I sound like such a truckist. I was talking to Haley about that the other day, because I was like, I'm noticing, because I'm recording myself and then re-watching myself. I don't normally talk to myself in the fucking car like this. I don't normally do monologues. And I'm like, noticing fucking guys that drive those big F-150, F-250 trucks. They're all fucking assholes. Like, they're all fucking assholes. They're bullies. They're mean. They, like, try to drive around you. They, like, pressure you. Like, I'm noticing, I'm sounding like such a trucksist, which would be like a racist, but like a racist against trucks, if that's a thing. And I'm not even mad at the trucks themselves, but like, I can remember being a kid in the South specifically, and there was like a big, like, my dick is bigger than your dick because I drive a Ford and you drive a Chevy. And then there's this whole like, what does Ford stand for? Well, found off-road dead. You know, I mean, like, there's this like, is this like a thing that I'm not aware of? Because A, I am not a fucking egotistical man, first of all. And second of all, I ain't a trucker. Like, I ain't driving a truck. I don't want a truck. I'm driving the minivan. I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm okay with it, but I ain't driving nothing bigger than this. I will never be in an expedition. No, I'm not. No. So, is this a thing that I'm not aware of where, like, people who drive trucks are just, and I don't mean truckers, like truck drivers, like 18-wheeler trucks, like even the big serial killer white trucks. I'm not talking about them. I want to be very clear. I'm talking about the Dodge Rams and the F-150 trucks. Those trucks. The bigger than necessary pickup truck. That's what I'm talking about. Those trucks. Because I have a lot of respect for truck drivers, like 18-wheeler truck drivers and like cargo van drivers, unless you're hauling illegal stuff. I have a lot of respect for that. I want to be very clear. I am not talking about those kind of truckers. But like, Is it that those people in the little, like, Dodge Ram F-150 trucks, is it that they have, like, truck envy for the 18-wheelers, so it makes them be all like, ooh, I'm big? I don't fucking get it. I really, 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 really don't get it. And like I said, as I'm recording and noticing, like, I'm watching these videos back, and I'm like, oh shit, I interact with trucks a lot. A lot of times I'm interacting with people in trucks that are just fucking being assholes. Like that guy right there, he could have absolutely waited the 1.5 fucking minutes for me to move instead of bullying me, driving up on the motherfucking median just to get into the line to move. Like, what the fuck? The fuck? The fuck? Y'all. I'm not trying to be a trucksist. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I mean, I'm sure there's people that like, oh man, I fucking hate women who drive in minivans, man. They all drive really fucking slow and they all turn their turn signal on at every... And bitches, if I am in a turn-only lane, no, my turn signal is not on. Why? Because turning is my only fucking option. Why would I need to notify you of that? I'm in a turn-only lane. There ain't nowhere else I can go. So, no, I don't always turn my turn signal on, and it does annoy the fuck out of me when people do that. So, and I imagine that would be some, like, overly cautious safety minivan bullshit. But I am not your typical minivan driver. I am not. And if you're curious, after 20 years of marriage, so, I mean, a pretty long time of driving, 20 years of driving and marriage. And between myself and my husband, I have the way better driving record. Way better. My husband's gotten a couple speeding tickets, and there was a couple, like, failure to yield at a toll booth shit. I don't fucking know. Red light. There was a couple red lights. There was a couple seatbelts and a couple red lights. Nope. I have one speeding ticket in 20 fucking years. One. And I paid a lawyer $400 to make it go away. So, I technically have no speeding tickets at all. I have no driving record. Like, I have nothing. Other than there are a lot. Like, if you pull up my actual driving record, there's like a big, long record. Oh, wait, hold on. You okay? You okay, buddy? Okay. He's just like 7 car lengths back, but he's just not paying attention. I just want to make sure he was okay. But yeah, speaking of, if you pull up my actual driving record, there's a lot, like, it's long. It's like 3 pages long, but that's because I always stop at accidents and give my, like, information, give my driving record, give my license, give my information. So I always stop at accidents if I can, if I think I'm going to be of help, if there's, like, people there already and I'm just going to get in the way. I don't. But 90% of the time, the Lord puts me where he needs me, and I'm usually, like, the first one after an accident. It's happened probably 20, 30 times in my life. And when that happens, I always stay with the people and I wait until the police come. And of course, the police always have to get my information as well. Even though I'm not involved in the accident, I'm still there. I'm a witness, so they always get my information. So it's always funny when they pull it up because it's like 3 pages long and they immediately are just like, oh. But then they like start reading it and it's like, oh, did you actually stop to help this woman in an accident that you didn't even know and then drive her to the hospital? I did. Did you really do that? I did. And then I stayed with her at the hospital for an hour and a half until her family got there. Why would you do that? Because she was old and scared? Okay. Okay. Did you actually chase down this hit and run driver? Yes, I did. Captured the whole thing on video too. They evaded and ran through many red lights, but I caught it all on video, so you should have no trouble in prosecuting them for that crime. Why would you do that? Because I could. Because I had a video camera set up and I saw it happen in front of me, and I was in a position where I was in a car and the Lord allowed me to follow that person and catch them in a Walmart parking lot hiding behind the building and call you. Yeah, I did that. That's a thing I did. But like, I do that shit all the time. But so I have like a long driving record, but I don't actually have a driving record. And if it looks like I have the better driving record between myself and my husband, just to be clear. And yeah, I flip people off and I cuss at people. I do not tailgate. I do not tailgate. If you get in front of me and you cut me off and you want me to drive 45 miles an hour, I will drive 45 miles an hour. I will not be aggressive. I will not be aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I'm aggressive, but not aggressive. I will flip you off. I will cuss you out. And if you are following too close behind me and being a dick, I will brake check you. But that's about it. That's about it. That's about it. So like, okay, you pull up my record, and another thing that you're gonna find is like when I tried to save the lady in the fire, you're gonna find all the times that I've found kids and called the police and been like, hey, there's a random child here that is not supervised in any way, does not appear to have an adult, and is under the age of 7. Perhaps an officer should be dispatched, maybe even call CPS. So like I said, like I have a long history of dealing with the cops, but actually it's every single incident is me just being me, me just being a good person. And that day with the lady that I was telling you about that I went to the hospital with her, I'm still friends with that lady on fucking Facebook. She was the sweetest lady. This guy, she was an older lady, and what had happened was this man pulled in front of her and then slammed on his brakes, because in North Carolina, pretty much, it doesn't really matter what the situation is. If you hit someone from behind, it's your fault. Pretty much, period. It's like no fault, and basically it's on you. So if there's a 4-car pileup, even if that 4th car hit you and then you hit that car in front of you, it's on you. That's just how North Carolina is set up. But I, again, had my camera, was recording, and caught him coming out from the light, coming around, and I had it facing the other way. So if you saw him come around and pull in front of her and slam on his brakes, you saw the whole thing happen. And I was worried that she was hurt, because she hit him pretty hard, and she was an older lady. I mean, when I say older, she's like in her 60s. So she was like my mother-in-law's age. And so I was a little worried that she got hurt. So I kind of slowed down. How about she got out of the car and he came at her like he was going to attack her. So I stopped immediately, pulled my car off on the side of the road, ran up, got in between him and her, called 911 on my phone, and was basically like, y'all need to fucking get here before I lay this motherfucker out, because if he lays a finger on this fucking bitch, you will no longer have a car accident. You will have a domestic disturbance between me and this strange man I don't even know, who's about to hit this lady. And the whole thing was just crazy. It was crazy. He was not a legal citizen in our country. And so the entire time that he's trying to attack her, he's calling her incredibly inappropriate things. He's saying those things to me. He's saying, well, you're just siding with her because you're both white supremacists, which is absolutely not true. And I mean, just some very not okay things to say. And the whole thing was recorded on 911. Like everything that he was saying was being recorded on 911, because I was on the phone with 911. And the accident actually happened right up here. I'm gonna turn the camera so I can tell you where it happened, because I'm on the same road. So he starts saying some incredibly, just unbelievably racist things, and the police station is here, like behind me. So it doesn't take terribly long for police to get to the scene, which is going to be in about another minute and a half. But it was a 7.5 minute wait from the time that I called 911 until they actually got here. It took 7.5 minutes. And in that time, he tried to assault her, tried to assault me. His wife showed up, who, interestingly enough, was a white woman. So at that point, I was very confused. Like, how can you be married to this woman and also believe the things that you've been saying? And she basically started saying that I had no place to be there, that I wasn't in the accident. I need to just get the fuck out of here. And I was like, oh no. So this right here is where he pulled out. My camera was just like this, but I was coming from the other direction. I was pulling out of what was the Burger King at the time. He pulled out of this intersection. He pulled out like right here and made a left onto this road. And she was in front of him like the white car is now. He then pulled around where the white truck is, pulled in front of the white car, like where that black car is right now, and then slammed on his brakes right here. Because I was coming out of there. And so I turned around and came back and everything, and she was like, you need to get out of here. You don't have any fucking place here. You don't fucking belong here. Why are you even inserting yourself in this shit? And I was like, because he was about to assault this old woman. And the woman was okay, but she was definitely shaken. She was not used to men speaking to her the way that he was speaking to her. He literally was physically threatening to hurt her. She was scared. So she had a little bit of a panic attack. So I put her in my van, turned the AC on, because my van was, her car was in the road, but my van was off on the side. So I took her to my van, and we called the police, and the police get there, and it was a fucking nightmare, dude. He was just the worst. They ended up like arresting him because they had him doing like verbal threats and shit on the 911 call. They were able to arrest him immediately. And I gave them all my information, and then they called the ambulance, and the ambulance came and was like, well, I definitely think you should be seen by a doctor at the hospital, and you should take an ambulance. And I was like, okay, you do realize from where I am at right now at Park and Vernon, or Park Road and Park Road Extension, the hospital is literally 3 blocks that way. You could walk from here to the hospital. And they're like, well, she should definitely take an ambulance. And I was like, no, do you not know that her taking an ambulance is going to cost her like $800 fucking dollars for 3 blocks? And the cops are like, well, that's not really my concern, ma'am. And I was like, it's my motherfucking concern. I will drive you to the hospital. And the cops are like, ma'am, you really don't need to do that. I was like, if I save her $800 fucking dollars, I will do that. And the cop was like, you must have been the woman that was on the phone. Like, because they could tell I was the same person because I was like aggressive with them. But I was like, do not take the ambulance, refuse the ambulance. And the ambulance driver is over, the ambulance guy is like, you will take her to the hospital, correct? And I was like, absolutely. I was like, 100%. I'm not saying that I'm going to take her to the hospital and then not going to take her to the hospital, because that's a liability. I would never do that. I was like, I am legit swearing to you on my life that I'm going to take this woman in my van to Carolina Place Hospital right now. I will walk her in and make sure she gets in there. And the ambulance, like, EMT guy was like, you should go with her. You should go with her. I think she'll take good care of you. So at that point, the cop was like, so you're going to go to the hospital with her? And I was like, yes, I'm going to go to the hospital. And I did. And I sat there and I waited with her for 2 hours until her family came. And her family was so fucking sweet, y'all. They were just like, oh my God, you're like our mom's hero. And I was like, bitch, no. I would have done that for anybody, first of all. Like, I would have done it for anybody. And second of all, turns out that old boy that had done that, he had done it 4 times before in the same year and was committing insurance fraud, got fucking arrested for insurance fraud for doing exactly that, and deported. So I'm not saying that that was my goal, was to get him arrested and or deported, but he had done it 4 times to 4 other people, and 4 other people didn't have somebody like me around that just happened to catch the whole thing on camera and be willing to stay and be willing to give their information to the police and say, nah, this is some bullshit. Those 4 other people, they just were out and had to pay, and he ended up walking away with thousands of dollars each time. So am I happy that I shut that shit the fuck down? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am very happy about that. And I'm still friends with that bitch on Facebook. Her name's Shirley, and she got a garden, and she raises butterflies, and she is fucking awesome. And I'm 100% would do it again today if the exact same situation happened. Haley was actually in therapy while all of this was going on. So I had her in the car. Her name was Shirley. And I was like, Miss Shirley, I have to go pick up my daughter from her doctor's appointment. But as soon as I do, then we're going to go to the hospital. And she was fine, by the way. She was fine. I mean, it's obvious that you go get checked out, but she was fine. And so I picked up Haley, and Haley was like, who's this person? I was like, this is Miss Shirley. She was just in a car accident, and we're going to take her to the hospital and make sure that everything's okay. And I swear to God, my kid knows me so fucking well. She got in the car and she was like, fucking Captain Save-A-Ho over here. And I was like, hey, she really needed me. And Haley was like, I know, Mom. I know. And Haley was with me and stayed with me and was kind to Shirley and totally was 100% on fucking board with the whole fucking thing. As soon as we explained what happened, she was like, wow, Mom, I'm really glad you were there. And I'm really glad that I got the whole thing on fucking video. I record everything for a fucking reason, y'all. I record for a reason. People be like, I have so many people come in on my vlogs that don't know me, that don't know that I do this, and they'll be like, so let me get this straight. You just sit in your car and record yourself driving around talking to the camera. And I'm like, yes. 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 That is what is happening. Why? Why is that what's happening? Well, here is what is happening. I always fucking record. Like, I have always recorded for many years. Y'all, TikTok's only been around for like fucking 2 years, but I've been doing this shit for like fucking 10 years. I record everything. And so in that recording everything, it's like every once in a while there's some funny shit that happens that I catch. I catch some funny shit sometimes. I catch some fucking fucked up shit, but I also catch some funny shit. So yeah, I record everything. I'm almost always recording. I don't record intimate, like if I'm hanging out with my best friend Liz and we're chilling and we're just doing it, you know, if we're spilling tea or some shit, yeah, I might record that. Or like, but if it's intimate time and we're just hanging out and being friends, no, I don't record that. But I record almost, if I'm out in public, I'm almost always recording. Yep, almost always recording. And a fucking reason for that. And yes, I just saw 2 different police officers pull out from that neighborhood. That cop and then another cop in front of him. So I'm gonna make sure I don't speed. That would be bad. But yeah, that right there, those 2 cars, that right there, those 2 vehicles, that's why I fucking record everything. I cannot tell you how many times I have been in a situation where it has been my word against someone else's word, and the cops don't want to believe me until I bust out with the, oh, I'm sorry, officer, did I forget to mention that I actually got the incident on camera? Oh, really? You recorded it? Yes, officer, I recorded everything. At which time, the other person is usually, oh, fuck, and trying to backtrack. Well, hold on now there. I didn't know she was, doesn't fucking matter if you knew I was recording or not. Shouldn't have been a fucking dick. So yeah, I fucking record everything. And there's a reason I fucking record everything. And that reason is in front of me. The only reason why I record is because I cannot tell you the number of times where me recording everything has actually benefited me greatly. So much so that I do it all the time just in case. So yeah, I fucking record everything. Come at me. Come at me if you want. I fucking record everything. Yep. That's my life. I record it. The incident with the woman in the car, Shirley, if I had not recorded him coming out and pulling in front of her and slamming on her brakes, she would have been found. Oh my gosh. Where people, do you not see their fucking cops? Do I drive like a, what the fuck? Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna drive up on the fucking curb in front of fucking cops. We're gonna drive across both lanes of traffic, almost cause an accident in front of fucking cops. Again, y'all, that's why I fucking record. I record everything. If I didn't have that video, though, that man would have walked away. He would have walked away and done it again, and probably again and again and again and again and again and again and again. But because I just happened to be recording like I am right now, I just happened to be recording, I was able to catch him doing what he did, and the insurance company was 100% like, that's fucking illegal. What he did was fucking illegal, and he was charged with criminal charges and was then found to have done it a number of times before with other cars, and was found criminally negligent and like was found criminally, and they charged him and he was deported because of the charges. So was I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? No, I was not wrong. So yeah, I record everything. I record everything. That's just something I do. It's something I've always done, and it is something I will probably continue to do in my life, is record everything. It's too risky, y'all. It's too risky. There's too much shit going on, and I do it to protect myself. Because I insert myself in shit where I got no business being. Like, I'm not... Okay, here's the thing, though. I did actually go to school to be a police officer. So I did actually take, like, life-saving, paramedic... Yeah, by all means, baby, you go right ahead. You don't hear me with my turn signal on trying to get over. Oh, no. You're so much more important than me. Oh, by all means, please, you go right ahead of me. I did actually take like life-saving EMT classes in the process of becoming a police officer. And in that, you do basically take an oath that says that because I have these life-saving skills and I know how to save lives, if I am in a situation where there is no one else there, I do have a duty to act. So because of my acceptance of the duty to act, I will insert myself in shit where I don't fucking belong. If I pull up on an accident, I will insert myself in some domestic violence shit. Yep. I am the motherfucking one. I will insert myself in that shit. And when I do, I 99.9% of the time record it for my protection. Oh my God, this lady who insisted on being in front of me, had to be fucking in front of me because she's so much more important than me, doesn't go through the fucking light and doesn't fucking turn. Don't fucking do that. She's in the fucking turn lane and not turning. Let's see. Do you ever just like stop? Like, I don't, obviously, I don't know this song because it's in, I'm gonna guess it's in Spanish. Could be Portuguese for all I fucking know. But do you ever just stop and listen to other people's music? Just like, got a nice little beat to it, actually. I can appreciate other cultures' music, even though I can't understand them. I do that. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that does that? I guess I am. I probably am. Everyone else is probably annoyed by his music, but I am like, okay, universe, this is a chance for me to sample another culture's music. I will take advantage of that. But most people are probably annoyed by his music. But I also listen to loud ass music, so I can't be judgy. I can't be judgy. I can't be judging somebody who listens to loud music. Ooh, savage. That is not Savage by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. That is not. That's Lady Gaga. I think. It sounds like Lady Gaga. I hope, I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's Lady Gaga. Fuck you, bitch. Fucking elitist, pretentious, so important bitch. I hope the universe humbles you and that the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your genitals. Yep. It's definitely not Megan Thee Stallion. I thought it was Megan Thee Stallion. I love me some fucking Savage. I'm thinking this song's gonna end and then it's gonna go into it, but I don't know. I gotta go because I gotta call my friend.